Hey everybody, Qroo here. Welcome to the channel. You know, I recently did a video commenting that the only people I've personally ever heard ordering using the Spanish phrase me gustaría, such as me gustaría una cerveza por favor, have been non-native Spanish speakers. You know, I lived in a tourist area of Mexico for many years, and I would hear tourists use it on a daily basis, but I never heard a local use it. Well, the video I did about that has been viewed around 50,000 times so far and has generated over 1,000 comments from people all over the world. And those comments have been super interesting. The most interesting ones have come from native Spanish speakers. Well, at least they said they're native Spanish speakers. I mean, I haven't verified the information, but you know, they seem legit. The majority agreed that it would sound odd to order that way with me gustaría plus the food item. But there were some exceptions. Some folks said, hey, you know what? Sounds good to me, you should do it. It just goes to show you how varied the Spanish language is, and not just by country, also regions within the same country. But the Spanish speakers didn't just stop with commenting about me gustaría. They started to share how people would normally order food in their particular area. And that's when it really got interesting, because you could see how different the Spanish language was by area. In fact, many native speakers would comment after reading another native speaker's, message that what they're saying would sound odd in their particular country. Here's an example of what I'm talking about. The use of the verb poner in Spain to order food, such as ponme un café por favor, or póngame un café por favor. That would sound odd to most Latin Americans, or at least that's what they're saying. That would not be used there. But several Latin Americans said they use the verb regalar, which usually means to give a gift, but they use it to order food, like me regalas un café por favor. It's like literally, you give me the coffee as a gift, please. Now, the Spaniards who comment about that said that sounds completely wrong to them. With all of these differences of opinion, what is a student of the language to do? I mean, if you're sitting at your house and you're trying to learn Spanish and you keep hearing all these different answers, you must be getting frustrated. I mean, it's normal, right? Well, this is going to happen when you're learning Spanish because, there are differences in how people speak it. But my advice is always the same. Pick a country where you want to focus on their Spanish and learn how they say things. There was one form that people seem to agree on, whether they were, in Europe or in Latin America, and that is just to say the food item and then por favor. For example, un café por favor. Nothing else, no verbs, nothing fancy in there. This seems to be the safest way. Oh, they did all seem to agree also that if there's more than one person at the table, it's okay to say something like para mí, and then order, like para mí un café, just to be specific who's getting the coffee. Knowing my viewers like I do, I know that some of you are not happy with that answer. You want more than that, right? You want more options. You want more out of this video. Okay, I hear you. So I went a little further with this one. I actually went through all of these responses, as well as checking with other sources that I thought were reputable to collect other information so I can compile a list of other options for you. I'm going to tell you right now that I did not do this for every Spanish-speaking country there is, all right? I just don't have that kind of time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it down into Spain, because so many Spaniards wrote about this particular video, and Mexico, just because it's the largest Spanish-speaking country on the planet. I mean, they seem like good choices, right? So let's go ahead and start with Spain. Now in Spain, as I said, you're going to have that verb poner when you order, and that is not used anywhere else that I'm aware of. That would sound very odd in Mexico. Ponme un café por favor, or póngame un café por favor. Now there was somebody from Madrid that says we don't say por favor, we just order, ponme un café, that's it. But I don't know if that's true. Other options given by Spaniards to order food: yo tomaré un café, quiero un café, un café, gracias. Un café, por favor. That's back to our just ordering the food item. Just say it, But you got one with a thanks, one with a please. You can mix it up a little. ¿Me traes un café? Gracias. Also, when ordering food, they liked quisiera or querría. Quisiera una ensalada. Querría una ensalada. And I guess you could throw in por favor. As I said before, if you're in a group of people, you could preface it with para mí. Para mí una ensalada, or para mí un café, whatever. Let's move on to Mexico. Love Mexico, one of my favorite places on the planet. And this is where you're going to see the verb dar, to give, come in. And the Spaniards who commented about that one didn't like it. And the Argentinians who also commented about that said that's not Spanish, but you will hear it in Mexico. In my experience, having lived in Mexico, I would say this is especially true when you're dealing with street vendors because you're looking right at the food. People will say things like, dame dos tacos, or me das dos tacos por favor, or voy a querer dos tacos. That voy a querer is common in Mexico. I don't think anybody else from other countries even mention that one. A safe bet is always quiero dos tacos. Or, what's our safest bet? Just naming the food and saying please, right? Dos tacos por favor. Something a bit more formal, quisiera. Quisiera dos tacos por favor. Still, I don't hear quisiera that often in Mexico. Let's go something healthier. We keep talking about tacos. Another option could be, me traes una ensalada? See, salad. We're going with salad. Me puedes traer una ensalada? So you can use poder there. Some people may even use the conditional, me podrías traer una ensalada? Lots and lots of options there. I know I said I was just going to focus on Spain and Mexico, but I did get a really interesting comment from a viewer in Argentina, so I wanted to read this. I talked about using dar and traer, stuff like that in my video, and he wrote, don't do that in Buenos Aires or the rest of Argentina or Uruguay. Phrases like me trae or traes una ensalada sound more like a direct order. In the North or South American continent, also in Chile, it's more common to give orders. But for us, it sounds really rude and shocking. Me gustaría or quisiera are very common for us in here. So that's good to know. See, I would have gone down there and been like, hey, me traes una ensalada? And they'd have been like, oh, I'm shocked. We wouldn't want that to happen. Okay. It just goes to show how diverse the Spanish language really is, right? And how challenging it is for non-Spanish speakers to learn. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, just do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. I really appreciate that when you do it. And until next time, hasta luego.